Mike Field, your host, your hairy host. Look at this thing. Damn! I can tell you're impressed. I can tell you're impressed. Sorry I'm late. No, wait, correction. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. I was just getting myself organized. Hello, everyone. Gosh. Look at all of you. Look at all who's here, eh? Heavens. Hello, Ephemica. Hello, Joker. Hello, Cole. Hello, Mango. I still haven't remembered to make you an admin. Gosh. What's up, Dwayne? What's up, Googleplex? Simon. Cole, did I say you as well? Magic 11. Wesley was in the chat earlier on. Anthony needs to fix his page for right-handed OH algs. I need that page. I need it. And it's been broken for so long, and I can't find the algs anywhere else. All right. Well, Wesley, when Antoine is here, I can nag him about that. Antoine is in China, and China right now. No, wait, he's in Malaysia, and I think it's like really not in a awesome time zone when compared with New Zealand. So it's very early in the morning for him. So he's going to join us. I'm pretty sure if we've got our time zones right, he's going to join us for like the second hour of the show. So that's the plan, okay? And we're going to talk to him about China. Hey, that's a good segue into talking about what's coming up on the show today, everyone, isn't it? Isn't it? Hello, official Timmy James Melby in the chat. Hello, mate. Oh, my phone's making noises. I'm just going to put that on don't make noise for a minute. And I'm not going to put it... Watch what happens if I put it beside the cable. Bad noises happen. It goes zzz, like phones in the 90s. Remember the 90s? No, of course you don't. Of course you don't. Real ones do. Hi, Ernester from the UK. Paul, son from the UK as well. What's up, JDB? Okay, here's what's going to happen today, everyone. Here's what's going to happen. You know what? This bit is easy. This bit is easy. I'm just going to do this one before we've talked about anything, because what I want to do is give a little shout out. Actually, you know what? A massive shout out. A huge shout out to our boy, Felix Zemdegs, who's only gone and got engaged. Big life stuff for Felix, hey? Congratulations to Felix and his fiancee, never mind partner, his fiancee. Isn't that exciting and lovely and charming and just a nice thing to start the show with, hey? Just a little bit of vibes to start the show. Congratulations, Felix Zemdegs and Jing Coco. Might have made a bad job of that, and for that I apologize. Congratulations to you both. Look how cute they are. Oh, amazing. Congratulations, Felix the goat. They grow up so fast, don't they? Oh, they grow up so fast, everyone. So anyway, that happened. That's something I wanted to do right at the top of the show there, right at the start of the show, I should say. James Melby remembers the 90s. Good on you, James. I'm glad someone does. Okay, here's what we're going to talk about today. Remember the mysterious logo on YiHeng Wang's jacket? His cubicle jacket had the mysterious TC logo. It doesn't mean the cubicle. It doesn't mean a lot of other things that everyone was speculating. It does mean something, and I found out what it means, okay? And we're gonna talk about it. Well, I'll tell you. All right, I'll tell you what it is. So that's the mysterious logo. Here's the thing. I need some help. So I'm going to be talking today about a potential opportunity for someone. I'm looking for an intern, really, to do shorts for me. It's initially an unpaid intern is what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for someone who wants to work for a brand and get experience doing shorts and running socials for a brand. So that's going to come up. We're going to talk about that. And I'll make my case as to why you should definitely do it and help me out. We're going to talk about the Asian Championships scheduling drama. Okay, there was some noise, a lot of noise on Cuber's friends about the scheduling at Asian Championships. They got a bit ahead of themselves. They got like a lot ahead of themselves, actually. And then things went down that people are not happy about. So just a little bit of drama from Asian Championships. We'll have a look at that. The tier list saga continues, but today I'm actually going to give you the real deal call to action. I'm going to set you loose on a Google form so that you can submit your links and stuff. I'll tell you what, if you want to do that, if you're feeling keen, if you want to do that now, I'll talk to this later. But here you go. Here's the little submission form. So if you want to have your idea for video for me to do in my reaction tier list, you can put it in there. And I'm going to ask you to help me generate the criteria for how I'm going to mark them, for how I'm going to tier them. We're playing democracy today. Usually this stream is a dictatorship, but today I'm giving democracy a chance, okay? I'm giving democracy a chance, and we're gonna try and crowdsource not only the content for that tier list video, but also the criteria for how we're gonna work with that, okay? Doesn't that sound exciting, everyone? Doesn't that sound fun? You're all helping me today. Let's quickly, mangocuber has been losing his mind in the chat. What is your... he's asking, and you can all... let's all take part in mangocuber's impromptu quiz. He's asked, what is your go-to Chinese food order? I like a sticky chicken. Is it Kung Po? I like a sticky chicken, all right? You know when you got like the sort of the Chinese fried chicken, little chicken bits, and they've got a sticky sauce on them. They've got a little bit of heat, a little bit of spice, and they're just, and ideally right now, this is a bit gross and I will accept that, but ideally the ones I get will be a bit old. They've been sitting on the counter for a bit, okay? So they've got a bit of chew to them. That's like my absolute peak Chinese food, all right? Because I'm an absolute goblin, and that's how I like that's how I like. In Scotland, in Chinese restaurants in Scotland, we get a particular kind of seaweed when we do in Chinese takeaways. People in the UK might know this as well. You'll get a tub and it's just like really finely shredded, really thin, green, super salty, crispy. It's got a little orange on it. I don't know what the orange is, but that is I don't think I've seen that in New Zealand. But we get that in Scotland back when I used to live in Scotland, and it was the go-to. I would just dump that on everything. Doesn't matter what I'm getting from the Chinese restaurant. That's going on everything. So there you go. Let me know. Let me know. And he's asked also Mexican food order, Chipotle Crunch Burrito from Taco Bell. Okay. Chipotle Crunch Burrito from Taco Bell. Ernester knows what I'm talking about with the UK Chinese takeaway seaweed. Yes. Paulson, you need to make a note to mod mango. Yeah, I do. Whoa. Magic 11 is saying YiHeng just got a 3.17. Can we have a source on that? Is that official? 3.17 official? Is this the first time we're having breaking record news on the podcast? That's WR2, isn't it? Because 3.13 is the world record, right? +2 King, can you name 5 UK cubers, not including Chris Mills? Not including Chris Mills. The guy who owns speedcubing.org. Can't remember his name. Is it Oliver? I want to say Oliver. Him. Who else? The guy that owns Cubes UK, does he cube? I assume he does, hey. No, is the answer to that question. No, I can't. Okay, can we have a source on the YiHeng 3.17? Magic 11, where are you getting that information? Because I want to go and look at that. That would be quite fun. We'll probably do some solves in a minute. Oh, I didn't finish saying what we're going to do. Also, Daniel Evans, that's his name. Thank you. We're also going to talk to Antoineccantin today. And we are going to talk about China. Big deep dive on China. I'm going to go straight out ahead and acknowledge the weirdness of me, a white guy, talking to Antoine, another white guy, all about China. You know, there's a weird thing going on there when I'm like, this is a deep dive into China, but it's two white guys talking about China. You know what I mean? So I am going to acknowledge that is a little bit goofy, but it is what it is. I'm connected to Antoine. He's in China. He knows a lot more about Chinese culture than I do. And I want to talk about a few specifics with him because you know what's incredible? He's had a bunch of interviews recently with a couple of prominent Chinese cubers and YiHeng's mum. Antoineccantin has a video interview coming out, is my understanding, with YiHeng's mum. And I think that's super exciting and incredible to actually hear from her via someone who can translate properly, not just me looking at Billy posts with Google Translate. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So that's exciting. So we'll have a chat with Antoine about that. I'd be really excited to get some actual insight into how YiHeng's mum. Also, I'd like to learn her name. I'd like to get some insight into how she's feeling post-sliding and everything. Simon making the observation that how would YiHeng get it official? There's no comps right now. Fair. There is no comp happening right now. James Melby, the favorite American Chinese food, orange beef. Okay. Color block egg rolls. I've never had an egg roll. I don't think I've ever seen them as an option whenever I've had Chinese food. I'm going to the wrong Chinese restaurants. Cole suggesting clock or 3x3. Yeah, let's do it. Luke and Holly run Cubes UK. There you go. Oh, George Scully. Dang it. Yeah, I should have remembered George. What's up, Ubai? Welcome along. Should we do a very quick poll? Decide. Clonk. 3x3. There you go. Start the poll. I'm giving that like a couple of seconds. Just come on, let's go. What are we doing today? Are we doing clonk or are we doing 3x3? My vote's for clonk, but I'm not allowed to vote because it's my poll. That's sad. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's keep an eye on this right now and just see how it happens in real time. No, I want to see the poll. Here we go. Oh my gosh. 11. It's very close. It's very close. 12 votes. 3x3 is starting to pull a lead. Clock's not done yet, though. Oh, my days. It's happening. It's happening, everyone. This is exciting, right? This is democracy in action in real time. Okay, I think we're doing 3x3. Can we get to 20 votes? Okay. It's a landslide, okay? It's a landslide. 65 to 35. Sorry, Cole. I did say that we would play... we would pretend that this is a democracy today, so I'm giving democracy a chance in my chat today. All right, there we are. 22 votes. We're doing 3x3. Okay. Okay. Let's do it. Hey, let's. Oh, oh yeah, I have done the thing. That's good. Look at me. Look at how good I am at streaming. Okay, clonk. No, wait, no. Sorry, I completely forgot what just happened. 3x3. Let's have a new session. Yeah. Brand new session. It's a brand new day. What shall I do? What shall I do? Name a Scottish speedcuber. The chat is still working away on naming British speedcubers. +2 King, can you name 5 African cubers? I'm afraid no, I can't. I do not know the names of any African cubers. And that's on me. That's on me, okay? Where is my cube? Look at that, first time. Let's see how I go. Was it last stream or where was it? It was at Cube Club. I was at my Speedcube Club. Oh, shoot. I was at my Speedcube Club the other day and I did an average of 5 and it started very, very... No, wait, did it start badly or did it start good? I can't remember. But it started and I got good results and I was like, okay, maybe no warm-up is the strat. Cole is hurting. I'm sorry, Cole. I'm sorry you couldn't have clock today. Maybe we'll do clock next week. Cole, if you're here on the stream next week, remind me that I said we would do clock and remind me to make Mango a mod too. It's been like 4 weeks. I've been trying to remember that now. Okay. What am I doing? I'm going to solve 3x3. Okay, here we go. R2D2 right at the end there. We love a bit of that. Okay, that's good. More coffee, that's what I need. All right, are we ready, everyone? Jeez, Cole's in there already. Ooh, look at this. Ooh, look at this. That's very interesting. Ooh. Oh, I've got fat hands this morning. Gosh. This is a disgusting first solve. Spoiler alert. This is gross. This is egregious. I hit my mic. Oh, what's wrong with my hands? Ugh, good grief. That was foul. Okay, let's get this goober out of the way first of all, shall we? Hit me with your times. Elliptic 12. Cole with the 10. A very, very mid. Sub-mid, actually. 26 from me. 17 for cube squared. Elliptic with a 12. I said that, didn't I? Ernester with a 16. Googleplex, I don't understand what the Google form was for, so I put my favorite PR single reaction. Oh, that's basically it. I want to make a tier list. We've been through the process of talking about what tier list I should do. Tier list. Hold on a minute. I need to be clear about this. Reaction tier list submission form. There we go. And then pinny pin pin pin. There we go. All right. Reaction tier list submission form. I mean, it does say that in the title of the forum, in my defense. Whoa, Cole with an 8. Oh yeah, I'm solving. Ooh, don't hate this. Oops, wrong screen. Here we go. That would have been criminal if I'd have messed up this one. That was suboptimal. And that's kind of how I do it. That's kind of my style. I'm working on a technique called suboptimal. Okay, that's a bit more on track. That's where we want to be. Svoda with a 5, Coldcuber 8, Simon with an 8, Ernesta with an 18, Chameleon with a 12, Cube Square with a 13. Alright, here we go. R2D2. Got a round of applause there by accident because my hands are fat. Alright. That was a nice scramble on that last one, wasn't it? I enjoyed it. Oh, this isn't too bad either. Where'd that red go? There it is. That is interesting. That is real interesting. That's... What's happening here? There it is. Oh, dear. Oh, no. That's a fumble. Absolute fumble. But a skip for a 21. Okay. Not bad. Could have been a lot better. I did fumble that one. Now I'm going to go straight into it. F. F, T, B, U, D, T, I, U, T. Rares with a 7. Oh, sorry, Cole. Missed the scramble. Ernesta with a 15. Svoda with a 6. M2U2 M2 cross. Oh, I didn't see that. Well, that's very impressive. Okay. I don't love what I'm seeing here with the cross. I think I'm going to confuse myself. Okay, not bad. I think I just cooked a free pair there. I might have... Oh, no! That's a cube drop away from something actually quite good. That's distressing. That could have been sub 20. It should have been sub 20. +2 King. I need to submit my AFR fail reaction. I cube dropped out of a Megaminx African record signal. No, oh, you know what we should do? +2 king, I love that, but maybe not for this video. I think that might be for another tier list. That might be for, we might have a fail tier list. That would be quite fun, hey? You +2'd out of Megamink's African record single. Dang, yeah, okay, I would be interested to see that. I think it's for a different video though, but I like that. I'm gonna see how this tier list video goes and see if people actually watch it. Yeah, cool. You can go back in the stream if you want to go and find the scramble. Where are we? Was that solve 4? Yeah, okay, cool. Here we go. Last one. Average of 5. I'm doing okay here. I'm on for a 21. I've got 2 counting 21s, eh? I'm doing okay. To get a 21 is not bad for me. Thank you so much for the sub, Mechanics. I've forgotten what I did. Whoops. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm going to put this back together. There we go. Okay. Alrighty, alrighty. Here we go. 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 Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, wrong screen. I keep just typing spaces into the chat. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, nearly goofed it. Uh-huh. Hey, I'll take that. The average is 5 is 21.5. That's pretty decent for me, honestly. I'll take that. It was a bit of a shaky start there. Bit of a shaky start. But, you know, the recovery I can live with. I can live with. Let me know what your average of 5 was. Did you beat your PR? That doesn't beat my PR. My PR is 21.3. I'm pretty sure. I always forget. I swear I check this like almost every... didn't remember me. Why won't you remember me? Let's not show everyone my sign-in stuff. Why won't you remember me? WCA website. Why won't you remember me? What's my... No, I don't want to edit my profile. My results. I accidentally put my real name in the form. Can you not show the screen? Oh, I won't show results. No. For goodness sake. No. That would be like a mega docs if I showed the results. I was going to put people's names in the description of the video. We may have uncovered an issue here, Googleplex. Maybe I need to change the form. I was going to give everyone a name drop in the description of the tier list video who submitted a video, but if you don't want that, then maybe hit me up on Discord. That might be a good idea. Okay, what's my thing? The thing 2140. Dang. Okay. 2140 and I'm hitting 2155 today. That's okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. I cannot be unhappy with that. Ernester, wow, you're less bald. Oh, yeah, a little bit. You can't see the back there, to be fair. That's the bit that's getting baldest. Yeah, I suppose so. This wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago, but yeah, it's pretty. That was like that was maybe 2020. Something like that. What are we doing? What are we doing, everyone? Right, that was the average of 5. That was some cubing. That was good. I enjoyed it. Well, it's probably time for some ads, isn't it? It's probably time to talk about our wonderful sponsors and the goods and services they provide in sponsoring the show. You can use code Cubecast at Speedcube Shop for 5% off all of the stuff you want. You can do the same thing at Cubing Life Academy. Antoine's got a banging deal coming up with Cube Life Academy as well. So that's nice, isn't it? We'll be talking about that later. You can also use code Cubecast to get a little discount here at Speedcube NZ. That's my store. If you're in Australia and New Zealand, you can do that. That'd be a good idea. You can buy cube sauce there. Hey, we've got lots of cube sauces available now, and we are currently testing 50k, my own version of the famous Traxxas 50k, rest in peace. And that's currently being tested just now. Most of the feedback is it's awesome, but it does look a bit like mucus, and I can't decide if that's that's something I want to change or not. I might just change the name to Cube Snot and just call it done. And you can also go to lastlayercubing.com and buy things like this mug to represent your favorite cubing podcast. You can do that if you'd like. That helps to support me, helps to support, well, me. Hey, let's do a thing, shall we? I'm just keeping a close eye on Discord over here for Antoine, who is currently not online yet. That's because he is expecting to join us in about half an hour. Googleplex said I put please don't show my name in the box. That's smart. That's using your noodle. Love that. Okay. Faith, does 5% off include shipping? No, it doesn't. It's not. You don't get discounts on shipping with that. I don't think many Cube websites give you a discount on shipping as well. Okay, what are we going to do first then? Shall we... I need to just do a little bit of digging around for my links here, but I want to talk about the Billy. Well, the... I want to talk about the mysterious logo, okay? The mysterious logo. Have I got a message from someone? No, Antoine News. Sorry, I'm just... Billy's kind of hard to work out because it is in a... Well, it's in a language that I can't talk. So, you know, that's a thing. I can neither speak nor read it. Okay, there we go. That's perfect. This is where we want to be. So, last week we spoke about young YiHeng getting a sponsorship deal, didn't we? We talked about him getting a new sponsorship. Look at that thumbnail. Look at that thumbnail. That is just big, more Pegasus energy in the thumbnail. Big moist critical energy in the title. One person got real mad about it, but that's only one out of, you know, nearly 9,000 people watched this video. So that was amazing, by the way. Thank you so much to everyone who watched the video and shared it and commented and liked and all that kind of stuff. So here we go. Last week I spoke about this. Young YiHeng is wearing a little jacket here with a little logo, and I got a bit confused and I got a bit chewed up in myself. I was like, what on earth is this logo? And everyone else got kind of caught up in this as well, and there was so much speculation and just straight up misinformation in my comments. It was wild. But B-U-T-T, but I got some information from someone, and they said, I think I know what this is. I think Yuki Gao, who is a GAN guru here in New Zealand, bit of a 2x2 goddess, I should say. Someone messaged me and said, I'm pretty sure she's a part of it. So I messaged her, because I'm smart, and I said, what up, Yuki? I'm not going to show those messages on here, but I asked her, actually, no, I can. There's nothing in there that's commercially sensitive or anything like that, I'm pretty sure. Let me just have a look at them. Where is the message? Where is the message with Yuki? Here you are. Okay. Yeah, here we go. I'll show it. It'll be fine. There's nothing in here that anyone's going to be mad about seeing. So I asked Yuki, hey, Yuki, question, do you know what this logo represents? A little screenshot of that. So far, people have told me it's a store, it's Team China, it's a coach, and Yuki told me, oh, that's a team of Chinese kids who are under 13 that competes in a weekly comp that's online. And I said, oh, it is. Awesome, thank you. Hold on a minute, I'm going to move my stupid face. No, move this. Come on, OBS. Don't do this. And then Yuki said, I said, do you have a link or any more details? And then she said, it's essentially a group chat There's 2 group chats. Never mind, because there's too many people. Hold on to your butts. How many people are taking part in this exclusive weekly Chinese competition? Yuki says, I think it's like 900 people. Right? Well, let's just think about that for a second. There is a Chinese under 13 online comp group of getting on for 1,000 people, which is competing weekly. That's what that is. Okay. I got a little bit deeper into investigating it, and I did find a video on YouTube, but I found on Bilibili. This is the extent of people I follow on Bilibili. This is YiHeng Wang. This is Cube because he keeps getting mentioned in YiHeng Wang's mum's posts. Keeping an eye. This is someone, I don't know who this is, but it's someone that YiHeng's mum seems to not like. And then this person. This is the extent of it. This is the Chinese Rubik's Cube children's team. There's the logo. I tried image searching. I tried all sorts to find this, and I eventually found this thing. Okay, this is the Chinese the kids Chinese Rubik's Cube team. Oh, hold on. I need a translation here. Translate into English, please. Perfect. So there are a ton of videos on here from head-to-head battles in this competition in all sorts of events, all sorts of everything. It's very nicely done. Was that 12 seconds? Oh wait, what was... Hey, first of all, that sounded really cool. I love that. Is anyone in the chat able to translate Chinese for me? Because I'd love to know what that was. Because it said too many things to be 8 seconds and 12 seconds. Was it like 8 seconds, 10 seconds, ready, start or something? What happened there? So look, here we go. This is very organized. Everyone has a picture. David saying that's China Cubing Super League. Look, there's the logo again down the bottom here. And we got a couple of Scube Lords. Okay, David, those are provincial teams competing against each other. Okay. That's very interesting. So yeah, it's Monkey League coded. It's pretty incredible. They're all wearing team jackets. So what we're seeing is a really well organized, what I assume is national competition. Niv's talking a lot of hype about the scramble. So let's watch the execution. And then we'll talk a little bit more about this. Yeah, here we go. Here's all the team names down here. You can't see, it's behind my head. But there's all the team names here, right? There's lots of... And Gan's involved with this, okay.
12秒 请准备 预备 开始
I don't know what the guy in the intro is saying, but it sounds so badass. Ignorance is bliss. Okay, the chat are saying, yeah, David, that's Jiangsu team versus Sichuan team. Oh, and Fred is saying 8 seconds, 12 seconds, ready, set, go is what's being said. Okay, cool. Elliptic is saying the rest of the world is screwed. Well, here's the thing. Yes. Yes, it is. Curious Nick in the chat, welcome along. Hey, also, Curious Nick, thank you so much for your generous donation towards my terrible mustache. I'm raising money for November, everyone, and Curious Nick dropped $50 onto that. So we are off. We are off and running with my Movember fundraiser. I think the link's in the description to the stream. Right now, the link to the tier list submissions is in the is in the pinned comment. So that's what I found. Now, what I also found on YouTube was, I need to go into my library. I'm not sure if I want to show everyone what I've been watching, because I watch so much trash. So much trash. Someone sent me a link to a video about the Chinese, about the start of this Chinese Super League, this Chinese cubing Super League. And essentially what you need to know while I'm looking at it, this is mostly just like, I'm just looking through my library, and most of it is Warhammer 40,000 painting tutorials, and then drag car racing stuff, and a lot of absolute slop content about terrible live streamers who are awful. A lot of Logan Paul content, like sort of bashing on. Yeah, I can't see it, but essentially what I found was that the league, the Chinese Kids Super League, started 5 years ago. I haven't... Here we go. I've got it. Okay, Children of Team China Cube. I don't know what a lot of this says, but what I can see is this was posted 5 years ago. It hasn't got many views because why would it? It's on YouTube. China, if you're watching videos, you're on Bilibili. So many Western videos are uploaded onto Bilibili. Like all the Speedcube Shop's videos are re-uploaded onto Bilibili. No one started doing mine yet, which is a bit sad. I'm gonna give it a like. But here we go. So this is introducing a whole bunch of people from 5 years ago into the league. Kind of funny, some of the records that are coming up. There's one person I want you to see. Because you're gonna go, oh look, little guy. So I don't recognize any of these. If anyone would like to, David in the chat can translate. So that's great. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Are you in China, David, or are you somewhere else in the world? I'm assuming your first language Chinese. Where is he? Zishuan Yang. It's not this guy. That's not who I want to see. Oh, wait. That's Yuxuan Gao, was it? Look who it is! Look who it is! That's YiHeng, isn't it? YiHeng? David's in Canada. But that's YiHeng, isn't it? I hope it is. That jacket is swag. But yeah, essentially what I'm saying is the Chinese Children's Super Mega League exists. And it has existed for at least 5 years. Is what I can tell. It is YiHeng. Yeah, okay, cool. Mr. WR2 himself. But just a little baby. Look at him. That was so funny. I was trying to see if I could spot anyone when I was watching that, and then he popped up and I was like, yo. So yeah, he's come through there. YiHeng has come through the... David, if you can help me translate this part in particular. What does that say? I would like to know what that says. 2023 GAN. So I'm assuming this is sponsored by GAN. Well, it is sponsored by GAN because their logo's up here. I would like to know what that is. David, someone else in that video got banned from the WCA? Okay. Wow, we're digging up some old stuff here. But yeah, this has been fun. Curious Nick said, good investigative journalism. I wouldn't go as far as to call it that, but it's been really fun just kind of like trying to... That logo, when I was just like trying to hit it on image search. Where is this freaking thing? Where is this logo? What is it? Where does it come from? But this is what it is, everyone. The Chinese Rubik's Cube Super League. Or whatever it was I said that it was. I think David gave us a better translation of that. Translate English. Cheers. Chinese Rubik's Cube children's team is what I'm seeing on here. And we actually haven't had anything from them since January 28. I wonder if that's interesting. Oh, David, the translation of that. GAN Rubik's Cube Cup Grand Final second round. Okay. So what have we learned? We have learned that the little T and C logo is the Chinese Rubik's Cube children's team. Bad translation. It's sponsored by GAN. It's been happening for about 5 years as far as I can tell. Lots of prominent young Chinese cubers have come through it, like come through the ranks of the Chinese Rubik's Cube children's team. It is actively going on at the moment. Yuki in New Zealand seems to be a part of it, which is cool. I suppose GAN gurus have the heads up about it as it's a GAN sponsored event. So there we are. We are screwed, is what I'm saying. There is nothing that exists like this anywhere else in the world. Am I right? This doesn't exist in anywhere else in the world. This doesn't exist in the US. It doesn't exist in New Zealand and Australia. Like a league that is run, and you can tell why, okay? Because here's the thing. Chinese parents are cool with spending money on coaching for Rubik's Cubing. So the coaches are promoting their services by being in this league. Like it's in their interest to grow cubing, and they are doing it. They are doing the thing. They're really in on building that community. So that's massive. Justice, I live in America. Can I do it? Well, I think you have to be invited to do it. You don't just turn up. You don't just turn up to the Chinese Rubik's Cube children's team. You've got to be under 13. You've got to be fast. You probably, I don't know, do you need to be coached? I know Yuki's coached. Most of the people I've seen in there will have coaching. So, you know, I think, like, here's the deal. Until the West takes it as serious as China takes it, we are cooked. The West is cooked. China will dominate speedcubing because they are dominating how speedcubing is developed. David, yeah. Oh, from the 2018 video, it said it was originally founded by the parents of those talented cubing kids. Okay, interesting. David then saying, yeah, what if SCS are the cubicle? Or what if SCS and the cubicle? Wouldn't that be wonderful? What if SCS and the cubicle put some resources behind something like this? Monkey League. This is Monkey League on a national scale. That's what China are up to. That's what China are doing. And it's very, very impressive. It's, Elliptic. It's Monkey League, but it's every week and it's every event and it's nearly 1,000 people. That's what China are doing, everyone. That's amazing. I love that. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely just so impressive that that's happening. Wow. Well, that's that, everyone. I think we'll probably move on from there, hey? Antoine is going to be joining us soon. Before we talk to Antoine, I want to talk to you, people watching, okay? Because here's the deal. I am looking for some help. All right? I wanted to, when I first started doing this, I had a pretty clear strategy. Video podcast, cut that down into individual videos, release them every day, and then from them, pull shorts and put shorts on TikTok, Instagram, and potentially a second YouTube channel just for shorts, because shorts will wreck your main channel. Top tip. I've done it a couple of times, but it is enough for me to just get the videos out. Like, it's enough work just for me to do the stream, prepare the stream, do the stream, get the videos out. So I've realized that I've hit the limit of my capacity. So I need some help. I need some help from someone. So I am looking for someone for what is right now an unpaid intern position, okay? So what I'm looking for is someone who is good at shorts, who understands the show and who understands speed cubing, and someone who wants to get on their CV the fact that they've created content for a brand, for an established brand, an established channel, okay? Ideally, what I would like to be releasing, okay, is a short every day. Just one short that we release on, to begin with, just Instagram and TikTok. My TikTok strategy is non-existent. I signed up for it and that's about it. My Instagram strategy for the Cube store is actually non-existent as well. It's I kind of started growing Instagram and then I kind of lost interest. Like, my platform, my strengths are YouTube. That's where I'm good, is like doing this stuff. I'm not passionate about Instagram. Like, I'm just not. But I understand it. I understand what you need. And I understand how to grow this is by putting out short form content on Instagram and TikTok. And potentially a second shorts channel. So that is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone. I don't care what you edit in. I'm not going to say you must be proficient in Premiere Pro. I don't care. I don't care. Can you get the job done? That is what I want. I just want somebody who has a track record of being able to produce shorts. I don't want it to be a hard job for you. I want it to be easy for you, because right now I cannot afford to pay it. If you are someone who is in Australia or New Zealand, then we can probably sort something out with product, you know? That's easy. That's something I can work out because I ship to New Zealand and Australia, but I don't ship to anywhere else. So I am also open to negotiation if we hit a certain threshold. Like, let's say with your help, you get us to 10K subs faster than I thought I was going to get to 10K. Then obviously my revenue is going to be up and then we can consider some sort of payment then. But right now, what I'm looking for is someone who A, is reliable, B, can communicate well, so they can tell me how things are going, where things are. We can use a Google Drive to change, to switch files around and all that kind of stuff. I'll send you the raw videos. You send me the shorts. You wouldn't have responsibility for like uploading anything. I'll still do the uploading. So it's not mega responsibility right at the start in that sense. But what I want is essentially one short from each video that I do, or that, that frame, enough to do one short per day. That's what I want. And I will give you a glowing reference. If you can do the job, a glowing reference, right? So if social media or content is something that you can do, and if you want to have that kind of work experience on your CV, then get in touch. Email me at help@speedcube.co.nz. Let me know. Send me some like examples of your shorts. JJ, what kind of content are you looking for? It's just clips from my videos, because the idea is to grow the channel. So we make engaging, interesting clips of funny moments or interesting moments or intriguing moments from the clips that will pull people into the YouTube channel, because that's what it's for. That's what shorts are for. It's to drive traffic to your main content, which is here. So I'll provide you with all the videos from here, what I do. And then I don't even care if you use Opus Clip. You know what I mean? If you're using an AI to do it, I actually don't mind, as long as they're going to work, as long as they make sense, as long as you've actually put them through the AI, then you've looked at them and gone, yeah, okay, I would probably watch that. I want to be putting out short content that I think people might watch, which might drive them to my channel. Does that make sense? That's what I'm looking for, everyone. So if you are someone who can create shorts, if you have the time, once a week to pump out a few shorts from my content. Like I say, even if it is just putting it through Opus Clip or something like that, because I just don't have time to do that. Because Opus Clip will give you something good and raw, but you still have to manipulate it, and that's the stuff I don't have time for. It's the deal Walter makes with Gus in Breaking Bad, said Ernesto. So yeah, if you're interested in something like that, then hit me up. help@speedcube.co.nz is my email address. You can also, no, don't hit me up on Discord. Do it properly. Send me an email, help@speedcube.co.nz. Sorry to be a boomer, but it's relatively formal. So we'll keep it like that. Does that make sense? That is what I'm looking for, everyone. I would love to work with someone to try and grow the channel a bit more. And hopefully hopefully I want you to get something out of it as well, right? It's not all take. Anyway, that is the end of my pitch. Email me at help@speedcube.co.nz if you think you might be interested. Okay. Let's see, what are we doing here? We talked about Felix. We said, congratulations, Felix. He's got engaged. That's epic, isn't it? Life PR, he got married. That's my notes. Why did I write that? That's so cringe. We talked about the mysterious logo. We've talked about my imaginary intern I'm looking for. Because we've still got, while we're waiting for Antoine, we've still got to talk about Asian Championships scheduling drama. Ooh, now we've got James in the chat as well. He's going to have some thoughts on this, I reckon. And we're going to go through the tier list. Oh, let's have some fun right now before we get into talking about Asian Champs. First of all, let's have an ad break. Okay, don't forget, everyone, use code Cubecast at speedcubeshop.com and save 5% on all the stuff. Use code Cubecast at Cubing Life Academy. Save 5% on all of their amazing courses. Antoine's got a new deal for us that we'll be talking about later when we get into touch with him as well. So that's all happening. You can also use code Cubecast at SpeedCubeNZ. You can buy cube sauce there. It's good. It makes your cubes go And lastly, at cubing.com if you want to buy some merch. Merch is nice, isn't it, everyone? Okay. What's happening in the chat? JJ, can we talk about Felix getting engaged? We did that earlier. That was like the first thing we talked about. James, lol, I may have some thoughts about Asian Champs. Yes, I knew it. I knew it, James. Oh, let's do that now. Let's do that now. Then we can do the tier list. The tier list is a bit admin heavy, and I feel like the intern stuff was a bit admin heavy. So let's move on from admin into some juicy drama. Just some delicious, moist, straight out of the oven drama. Okay. Asian Championships. Let me summarize for you, everyone, my understanding of what happened at Asian Championships regarding scheduling. Okay, I might have to go with Facebook for this actually and have a look. I hate going straight into Cubic's friends because sometimes it's completely unhinged, but we may have to have a look in there. Oh, it's mostly just Alex saying congratulations, Felix, at the moment. Okay. Then election stuff, which I don't want to touch because it'll make me sad. And then there's stuff in here that I do want to look at. Okay, but let me give you the summary. JJ Cuber, I will need an explanation of the double-decker thing. I missed that as well in the chat from Asian Championships. I don't know what that was. We are here to talk about Asian Championship scheduling drama. Here's what happened, okay? They essentially, what happened in a nutshell, they got ahead of schedule, which, first of all, is incredibly impressive for a huge, nearly 700 people competition. That is in itself very impressive, I would say. Congratulations, and well done to the delegates for that. Like, kudos, credit where credit is due. That is impressive. However, as a result of that, they started moving events forward in the schedule. Okay? Sure. I guess make hay while the sun shines. If you're ahead of schedule, if you're getting the job done, why not shift things a little bit forward and see how you go, you know? I was at a competition the other weekend, a very, very tiny one. I don't think there was even 20 people. It was a series of 3 very short little comps in Christchurch. It was a bit cute. What happened was we got ahead of schedule and everyone who was competing was in the room. So our delegate was able to go, hey, everyone, we're ahead of schedule. We're just going to keep pushing on. That sound good? And everyone went, yeah, that sounds good. Because it was a 1-day, 4-hour competition. And it was very easy to do that. Oh, Antoine's online. Okay, hold on a second. I'll add a call in a few minutes. Just finishing up something. Okay, cool. Sorry. Antoine's going to join us after this, okay? So they got ahead of schedule. And what happened was people were turning up. This is Asian Championships I'm talking about. People were turning up for their allotted times at the time that they were told to turn up, which was, I think, 50 minutes or half an hour before the event was scheduled to start. They were turning up at that original time and being told, nope, you're not competing anymore because you are now late according to our new schedule. All right? Now, to me, my opinion, that's really unfair. To change the schedule, moving it forward at the last minute at a major championship or just at any championship with a huge amount of competitors, I think is fundamentally unfair. I don't care how many times you announced it on the loudspeaker. I don't care how many emails you sent that morning. I do not care, because that does not change the fact that that is fundamentally unfair. Timon Koleshinsky very nearly missed out on 3x3 as a result of this noise. And I don't think that's very clever. I'm going to go to World Cube Association. It's not making me sign in again, so that's nice. Let's go back here and let's go to Asian, because I want to show you something. Asian Championship. Another little thing I want to show you, which I think was goofy, and kind of if you're telling me, oh, we sent an email. If you're telling me we sent an email first thing in the morning and everyone should have known, first of all, that's unrealistic. People are actually busy in a country that they may have not been to before, in a city they may not have been to before. They're focused on their events, on their results. Look at this down here. 29 regions were involved in this competition. So, you know, up to 29 languages potentially in this competition as well. I think that is absolutely just unrealistic, unacceptable, and just a crazy decision to think that you can communicate a change like that at the last minute, which was not an urgent change. It didn't need to be changed. They should have stuck to the schedule. If they were ahead of time, they should have got back on schedule by just having a pause, having a break, extending lunchtime or whatever. That's an easy thing to communicate. This is done. Off you go. Do your thing. Okay, some information coming in from James. I think we're on the same page generally. I think moving things ahead of schedule at a major comp is a bad thing. At a local comp, it's fine, but deliberately doing it at a major is ridiculous. They were turning up half an hour before their original time and still being denied. Here we go. My understanding is that the pre-comp email told people they needed to turn up half an hour before the whole event started. Now, that's important because in some events, there were up to 30 groups, which is pretty heavy going. And so technically, James is saying they were told what to do before the comp even started. So if you're in group 30, you still had to be there half an hour before the event started. That's tough. James saying that's not how comps work in most parts of the world, and it's not a reasonable requirement. But what I would push back on you with, James, is that there's a handbook, right? There must be a handbook for how comps are run. I believe there is a delegate. Someone sent me a link to a delegate handbook, but I have not yet ascertained whether that is publicly available or if that is meant to be only given to delegates or not. James, yes, that's what they were expecting people to do. Everyone had to turn up half an hour before the start of the event. Now, is that unreasonable? I'm just considering that. Is that in itself unreasonable? I'm not sure. Essentially, though, this is what happened. They moved the schedule forward, and people were denied access to their events because they didn't get there in time for these new times that were announced sort of on the day. It's pretty rough. I feel for people who put a lot of travel in. That is really tough. And in my mind, if I was looking at that on a higher level, I'm like, well, no, that's unacceptable. So either there is a regulation, not a regulation, it wouldn't be a reg. Either there is a guideline or a rule somewhere that says that shouldn't have happened, or if not, there needs to be, because that's not okay. Imagine, like, put yourself in that position. If you've flown from New Zealand or you've flown from the US to be at Asian Championships and you miss out on your event because the schedule was running ahead of time, how much money have you just lost? That's huge. And there was one post, or one comment, I should say. There was one comment about a delegate that was overheard. So dubious as to the authenticity of the source. So I might not show it because I don't want to reveal who said it, but someone overheard a delegate saying things. This is actually, we'll talk to Antoine about this as soon as we go on, because this is really interesting. Someone heard a delegate saying to a parent and their child, this is the time you should have been here. How can I let you in now? If I let you in, I'm teaching you that that's okay. So by keeping you out, I'm teaching you the results of your actions. I'm teaching you that the actions have consequences, and that is I should teach that more than letting you in, because that is showing you favoritism or whatever. That's being lenient. That's not applying the rules correctly. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want you to learn a lesson from this. And to me, that sounded, to my ignorant Caucasian Western mind, that to me sounded quite, I guess, like, I suppose Chinese coded in a sense, and I hope that's not offensive, but it backs up a stereotype, which is that attitudes in China are quite strict. It's like, cool, fair play, that's fine, that's fine. And I guess I get it, because I coach a very young rugby team over here in New Zealand, touch rugby, my daughter's rugby team, so 5, 6, 7-year-olds, which actually is like kind of peak cubing age. And I guess it's a very gentle approach over here. Everyone gets a turn to start with the ball, everyone gets a turn to be the dummy half, everyone gets a turn to try for a try. And that's kind of how we do it. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking about delegates and coaching in China, and remembering Teacher Jia talking about being a coach in a recent video as well. And I'm like, it is very different. It is very different. And I see, I think I emphasize a little bit with that response from the delegate. I can't say if it was word for word correct or whatever, but I'm like, yeah, okay, I see that. I do see that as a thing. So essentially, to summarize, that is what happened. Asian Championships got ahead of schedule, and my understanding is that as a result of that, of things getting ahead of schedule, people were denied entry to events that they'd signed up for, even though they turned up on time as per the original email. That is my understanding of what has happened. As always, hit me in the comments if you're watching this on the VOD. Hit me in the chat just now if you have any thoughts about that as well. James Melby, if I show up to a comp and I'm on time for my scheduled time, but they moved it up, they're going to have to call the police to throw me out. I hear you. I do hear you. And yeah, my sympathies to anyone who did fall foul of that, if that is indeed what has happened. James is saying, it's also worth noting the Asian champs got behind schedule quite a bit at points. How did they manage to do both? So just poor scheduling all around. Ernester must have felt like dropping an ice cream. Yeah, an epic ice cream. Thousands of dollars worth of ice cream in that cone. Okay, I am going to do a little bit of noodling around. Okay. I'm just messaging Antoine. Shall I put on some little bit of getting things ready music? We're about to speak to Antoineccantin, and that always involves just a little bit of flapping around and faffing about on Discord and selecting the right screen. Have I got that? I don't have it on my buttons, but I know which screen I need. This is the screen I need. Yeah, sick. All right, cool. I'll go back there. James, they ended up DQing around 15% of competitors in 3x3. Okay. That's actually wild, hey. That's actually quite wild. Let's call Antoine and see if he... I don't know why this happens. Whenever I go into virtual camera, or whenever I start a call on Discord, it goofs up. And goofs up this thing. Here he comes. Here comes Antoine. There he is, calling us from his hotel. I just need to find out how to pop this thing out. There we go. There we are. I can hear you. Well, I know I can hear you. I wonder if the chat can hear you as well. Go and say hello. I believe so. I believe so. Let me know in the chat. Oh, yo, Dylan Miller's in the chat as well. Hey, welcome along, Dylan. Thank you so much for being here. Chat, you can let me know if there's an issue with sound. It doesn't... Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Sorry, bear with me just a second. I'm just goofing around on OBS. Antoineccantin, welcome along. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us where you are. Give us some context.
Traveling a little bit in Malaysia, and I'll be going home tomorrow.
Okay, there we are. Sorry, I had you cut off for a second. I've got sound now. I can definitely hear you now. I'm almost certain. Chat's a little bit behind. Sorry, give us that one more time, Antoine. Tell us where you are.
Yeah, so I'm in Malaysia right now. I was at the Asian Championships last weekend. I'm traveling in Malaysia a little bit. It is currently 5:30 a.m. for me. It's a little bit early.
5:30.
But I made sure to get up for this. But, bear with me if my voice sounds a little bit funny or if I'm a little slow.
No, all good. I really appreciate you joining us. It's stupid o'clock in the morning. So I don't know if you were listening to what we were just talking about just now, but we were talking about Asian Championships and the scheduling. So you were at Asian Championships because it was in Malaysia, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Give us your understanding of what you observed with the scheduling, particularly as in regards to events getting ahead of time and people missing out on 3x3.
Yeah, so I think there's a bit of context that's really important for this. So I wasn't at the competition on the first day, and 3x3 only started on the third day, I believe, if I remember correctly. Was it the second day or the third day? I don't remember, but anyways, at least on the first day, the schedule was very much behind. So they were behind schedule, I think, by an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours. So it was really, really bad. And at that venue, they had actually, I don't think that they designed the schedule very well.
Okay.
They had the schedule designed so that it finished at something like 9:50 p.m. It ends very late, and they would get kicked out of the venue at 10 o'clock.
Okay, there's an issue.
And so on the first day, what they did is they canceled lunch, they canceled dinner break. And so they were just able to make it in time. And then, so my understanding is that on the following days, they didn't want to get into a situation where they weren't able to finish a round because the schedule was scheduled to finish very late. Didn't want to get into a situation where they couldn't finish a round. And so they tried to run everything as fast as possible.
Okay.
And so whenever they could be early, they were early. That is my understanding of the reason why they did this. And so on the day that everybody's talking about where the schedule was super early, it was early. And they were able to finish everything, I mean, before 10 p.m. On the last day, the schedule was also a little bit late. So from what I remember, there's only one day where everything was super early. And that would be the reason why. But it was a bad experience for competitors because I mean, it's pretty clear if you think that you're scheduled for one time and it's actually 1 hour before, it's hard for you to get ready and people can miss groups. And so it causes a bad experience. In my opinion, I think that if you're so early, then you should be giving yourself some time and waiting a little bit more in between the groups so that you actually stay on time. And the main thing is that your schedule should be more realistic and not end at 10, not be scheduled to end so late. That's my take on it.
Yeah, and 10 minutes before you're about to be kicked out of a venue, scheduling your event to end in that close proximity to the actual get out time that's an oversight. Like, that's a mistake. That's not necessarily
the competition
bad.
Also, yeah, sorry, and the competition also began fairly late in the morning.
Later than planned?
I know, no, not later than planned, but I know that on day 2, I think the competition only started at 10 p.m. Sorry, 10 a.m.
Oh, right, okay.
And so for me, that's quite late for a competition to start. And so I think it would have been a lot easier to just start a little bit earlier in the morning so then they're not worried about getting kicked out.
Yeah, that would have made sense. If maybe there was an issue that they weren't allowed in until a certain time as well, you know, if it was that kind of venue. How was the venue? It looked like it was a big old spot, hey? It looked really nice.
Yeah, so it was in a big shopping mall.
A mall, okay.
And then it was one big room at convention center.
Okay.
What I didn't like about that venue, though, I'd say two things. One thing is that it was completely flat, and there were very few tables. So the layout of the venue made it difficult for you to see the people competing.
Okay, yeah.
And there was also not very much room for you to just hang out at tables because I think in total there were less than 10 tables, maybe 7 or 8.
For 700 people?
There were actually more tables that were reserved for staff than for general competitors.
Interesting.
And then there was just a bunch of chairs, but also a lot of people would stand at the front of the venue.
Ah, yeah, okay.
So watching competitors, and so you couldn't really see anything while people were competing.
Something I've seen at a few Chinese comps is they do create a really big gap between the front of the spectators and the competitors. Hey, they always keep a really big gap there. I saw that at SSL. And I saw that at Asian Championships, I think, as well. That's what I'm drawing that from. These two comps I've seen. Was that something you've noticed, or is that just there's that an anomaly at those comps?
I've come to think of it, I think most of the Chinese competitions I've been to usually have a stage, and so it's really easy to see.
Yeah.
The people competing, and so it's not really relevant how much space there is, but usually, I suppose there's lots of space in front. So that was like one of my qualms about the venue. And then the other qualm was that the air conditioning was too cold.
Too cold.
But I think that's definitely not an Asian Championships thing. I'm pretty sure it's a Malaysian thing. In my hotel, you can say I'm wearing a sweater. It's not because it's just cold here. It's just the air conditioning for some reason doesn't seem to. It's set to 26, but it's definitely lower than 26.
Yeah, right. No, I can see it behind you. Full rip. Vents are open. Full rip. James reminded me Asian Champs was in Malaysia, not China. Yes, yeah, cool. Thank you. I got confused. I was just thinking. Sorry, I said 2 Chinese comps. I said I think I was thinking of regional. But yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, cool. Well, thank you for that. The yeah, it's that one specifically talking about the scheduling stuff. I do feel for people, and it hadn't occurred to me until James brought it back up there that 15% of 3x3 competitors were cut. That's not insignificant. You know, that's getting on for 100 people in a 650 person comp, right? 15%, 65 plus 30.
I would, where, I don't know if James is still here. Where did you get that number? I would be curious to know if it's, does that include no-shows? Like, how is it, can you tell which part is those who are registered, who attended, didn't make it, and which portion just didn't come to the competition? Because I know lots of people didn't come to the competition that were signed up.
Very fair question. State your source, James. State your source. Okay, that being what it was, Antoine, welcome along. Lovely to have you here. Oh, Chris Mills has just said in the chat, 15% didn't compete, but that does include people who didn't show up.
Okay, so then in reality, I'm sure that the number of people that didn't make their group is much more than that.
Yeah, right. Okay, Antoine, I have questions. I want to talk. I want to talk a lot about your understanding of China compared to mine, which is going to be, you know, massively different because you've lived there for how many years now?
About 3 years.
3 years, okay. And you have a lot of skill and you can talk, you can speak over there. You know, here's how ignorant I am. Do we say you speak Chinese? Or do we say you speak? Because Mandarin's a dialect, is that right? What do you say? I don't want to be horrible. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to be as clued up as I can be and not be straight up racist. But is it okay to be like, you talk Chinese? Is that true to say?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm tripping over myself here, but that's how I do it. So you've got a much clearer understanding of what's happening over there. You've experienced a lot of elements of culture in China as well. The big one I want to talk to you about, you mentioned that you've been doing some pretty big interviews recently, which I can expect to see on your channel soon at some point. Tell us who you've spoken to.
So I did a few interviews at Asian Champs, mostly because I didn't do all that well, didn't make many of the final rounds.
It's pretty
I had
tough,
some extra
man.
time and decided to do some interviews. So I did on-camera interviews with Jiang Lingkun, was the Pyraminx world record holder.
Yeah.
As well as with Geng Xuanyi, which I'm sure everybody knows about, who got, at Asians, he was first seed in the 3rd round, and currently 4th in the world, I believe.
Wow.
Who's the one who's known for being really good at ZB. And then I also, originally I was hoping to do an interview with YiHeng and his mom, but in the end, because he was in lots of events and he was practicing intensely, I didn't get an on-camera interview, but I spoke a lot to his mom about many different questions that a lot of people had. And so I have a bit of insight into him and into that if people are interested.
Mate, that is the big one. I'm so interested in that because all I've had access to is like machine translated posts that she's made on Bilibili. First of all, what is her name? What can we call her? Apart from YiHeng's mom.
Yeah, I think you can just call her YiHeng's mom. I
Okay.
believe that her name in English is Sherry, but I'm not completely certain.
Okay, let's just stick with YiHeng's mom for fear of I don't want to call her something that she's not called. But okay, yeah. So Dylan Miller is in the chat, and he's coming in straight with the goods. YiHeng's mom told you allegedly that he's liked Moyu cubes for some time now. Can you elaborate on that at all?
I think that like a big thing that I'm trying to say is that he didn't just like switch to Moyu because they're giving him more money. Like it's not a thing like that. It's just Moyu has always been sending him cubes. I think that's part of their marketing campaign.
That's
And
interesting.
he's tried MoyuCubes. His GAN contract expired. He thinks that MoyuCubes are better for him, and so he's using MoyuCubes right now. And currently using the MoyuCubes, thinks that they're better, and possibly will sign with the cube manufacturer. Of course, there's been every manufacturer has contacted him, or his mom anyways. And they haven't yet decided how they want to continue with sponsorship right now.
Yeah, okay, so
I think
he's still not signed to Moyu as such. He is a Cubicle sponsoree, we know that. He is no longer a GAN sponsoree, we know that, right? His contract expired with GAN, which is why he's using Moyu openly without competitions, without being in breach of contract. But he still, right now, doesn't have a contract with a manufacturer.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's just a free, what is it called?
Free agent.
Yeah, exactly.
A free manufacturing agent. Okay, cool. I believe, Faith, he was using the prototype Super Weilong V2, but I don't know if you know enough about... Well, you're on Moyu as well. You've probably got one. What's going on? You've probably got one. Is that something that you've got as a prototype just now, the Super Weilong V2? Because I believe that's what YiHeng got his PB on camera with recently.
So first, I don't know if you hear background noise. I want to apologize. I think there's a temple close by, and they have prayers at this time.
That's all good. We can't hear it.
Very loud. Okay. So from what I've heard, both from Moyu and from YiHeng, there is only one prototype of the Super Weilong V2, and it's in YiHeng's hands.
That's so cool. All right, I love that. I kind of love that, low-key. That's pretty cool. Did you get a go with it?
Actually, I didn't try it.
Oh.
I don't know how it is. It must be really good.
Yeah, I reckon. I wonder if that's what he was meaning.
Building up the hype.
Oh, yeah. Dylan's now said in the chat as well. We've got all the Moyu boys here. Here we go. Talk to Jayu. I'm assuming Jayu is one of the guys at Moyu. He said Super Weilong is nowhere near being sent to testers. Curious as to why he got his so soon. It's because he's very, very special. He's our precious little YiHeng. And he's brand new. He's just ended his contract with GAN, and they got to butter him up. That's what they're doing. Okay, so look, hardware and sponsorship and all that stuff aside, I am really, really interested in YiHeng's mum's perspective on everything that's been happening recently with sliding, obviously, timer abuse, sliding, the 0.78, and also that that ASR 3x3 single that was DNF'd because he touched it after the solve, which I thought I personally felt was a bit harsh, and was quite a lot after the 0.78 stuff. Not that being disqualified from something makes you immune from being disqualified from other things, if that makes sense. Essentially, what's the mood in the Wang camp? What's the mood with like YiHeng's mom and YiHeng and in China, I suppose, about what's been going on with sliding and everything?
So I think the first thing that I want to say, and it's something that I think you have mentioned in previous Cubecasts, and that a lot of other people have not mentioned, so I want to give kudos to you as well, is that
I'll take it.
there's a lot of perspective here that I think that people have to understand. And that is that YiHeng, especially YiHeng's mom, is a parent and is motivated by parent things.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? It means that she wants her kid to do as well as possible. But it does not mean that she wants to have as much attention as possible on her kid for no reason. And so getting extremely fast solves by cheating is not like the objective of a parent. And I'm sure that that's something that you can understand.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's something that I also can understand. Well, after I broke my world records, I had so much attention, and it was hard on me, but it was even more pressure on my parents, because they have to then deal with all of like the attention from everybody in the community, from the media, and they have to try and juggle all of those things. And that is something that is very much the case for YiHeng's mom, getting a huge amount of pressure from the community and not really knowing like what to say. And because she knows that absolutely anything that she says, people like won't believe it, they'll nitpick everything. And I think that's very fair for her to feel like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so there's some additional perspective here that I also want to talk about. I know that a lot of people have been putting it like YiHeng was, intentionally cheating. Maybe he had a coach that told him like, oh, if you want to get faster, then I don't know, you have to do this specific move and you try to do sliding to improve your times and you'll, destroy the world record. I don't know if that's like what most people think. But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think most people think that it's intentionally bending the rules to try and get faster solves
I think opinions are probably
in the world
split.
record?
I think opinions are split a bit on it. I think there is belief that it was intentional. I'm not saying that that's necessarily my belief. I don't know. I don't know the kid. I've never spoken to him. I've never spoken to his mom. I've never spoken to his coach. I don't actually have any insight into his motivations whatsoever. When I think about it as a parent, I don't know, actually, is the answer. It's like, did he know that the way he was starting the timer was affecting his times? I don't know that, until I think he probably was made aware that it was affecting his times because of the weight that came down on him. Was it malicious? There's no way of knowing. Was it intentional? Intentional is a better word than malicious, but you know what I mean. Was he doing it because he knew? Was he doing it intentionally because he knew it would get him better times? I don't know that. Nobody does. I don't like to think that about a 9 or 10-year-old boy. I forget how old exactly he is, because my son's 10. So I have a kid who is exactly the same age. And I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, well, my son's a terrible liar. So he would never be. He's very bad at cheating because he's just an awful liar. But I look at him and I look at his age and I look at how he plays and I look at how he interacts with his mates and everything. And I don't know. I don't think so. I don't want to believe that it was intentional. I don't like that version of the story. I think I've said that before. I don't like the version of the story where he intentionally did it, knowing that it would give him an advantage. So anyway, sorry, you asked that for a reason, and I just talked forever.
Actually, I just want to add a little bit of something, kind of related to what you mentioned. So I had an experience a few months ago at a different competition, where YiHeng did 2x2, and I don't know if anybody of you remember, but he got a 2x2 solve that was DNF'd at a competition this spring, because he made a turn-in inspection.
Oh, I don't think I did know that one.
I don't know if you heard about that.
Nah.
But I was at that competition, and I witnessed how the incident was dealt with. So basically, at that incident, he was doing 2x2, and then when he picked up the cube, he accidentally, I think, the cube turned a little bit, and it went slightly over 45 degrees, and he just put it back. That was the entire incident, right? And then, of course, that just means that you did a turn inspection. Like, he didn't actually do a turn; it just accidentally moved a little bit, went over to 45, and he just brought it back.
Yeah.
Of course, that is like, it's a DNF, right? And in that case, after it was done, I think he was kind of, I mean, something everybody has to understand is he's a 10-year-old kid. I'm sure very similar to your 10-year-old kid. And so at that point, he just didn't. I mean, I think at that point he knew that there was probably something wrong. But he was pretty nervous about it and didn't want to. And I don't know. I think it's often something that the little kids do. Like if they do something that they think is a bit wrong, like they'll try and hide it.
Yeah, because they don't want to get in trouble. That's what kids are.
Exactly. But then after the round, somebody saw in the video that it looked like there was a move that was on an inspection. And so the first thing that happened is his mom went and asked him about it. And asked if he turned in inspection. And of course, as kids would do, they don't want to get into trouble, right? And so he didn't want to say too much, but he was, I think, kind of like just like your kid, he was very, very bad at trying to hide it. Like it seemed like it was clear that he like didn't want to say it, but he was really bad at it.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the way that every kid is, and he's no different.
Mm.
If there's anything that he does that he thinks might be bad, it would come out very easily.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing. And as soon as his mom found out, she was, I'm sure as everybody could guess, she was very, very angry.
Right.
And saying, and I think that's also the way that she is generally. Like if there is anything that, because YiHeng is watched so closely by everyone, and there's always video footage.
Yeah.
And last thing that she wants is for him to be found out to be cheating, which I think is kind of funny given the current situation. But it's very, very clear, like from the way that she acts and interacts with him, and from what I've seen, that's the last thing that she wants. She was very, very angry. I think, yeah, about the fact that he didn't immediately come out about it.
Mm.
And
I
that is
can
something
understand
that she said many times. Yeah, like saying, if there's anything that you think might have been wrong, the first thing that you have to do is you have to tell people about it. You have to like be honest and be clean, and that's something that she says that she said many times, and try to make it as clear as possible that even if you think that you can hide it, it won't be possible because everybody is looking at your videos, and you're the cuber you're the cuber in the world that people are looking at the most, right? And that was in March, so this is way before the sliding incident, and that was already like a stance that they had, or that especially that his mom had, and you have to be very, very careful. You can't do anything wrong because people will find out.
Mm. Yeah, and I can get that, because that's her trying to protect him from the internet and the community at large. Like I with context as being a parent, I get that. It's just like you can't, because we're trying to teach our kids that cheating is wrong, always. And I believe that she believes that. From my limited understanding of her, she believes that cheating is wrong. She also has a good understanding of how closely he's being watched. And
also regarding rules, sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, in his little scared little 10-year-old head, he moved and he went, whoops. And then he went, am I okay? I think I'm good. Okay. Phew. I'm not getting in trouble. I don't think he was like, psych, I did a move in inspection. That's very different. It wasn't like, oh, if I just do this one move, I'll get away with it. Because he moved it and moved it back. And I'm not getting involved in a regs discussion.
Slightly over, and yeah. And like he probably wasn't completely sure himself if it went over 45 or not.
Mm.
In that particular incident that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I just want to also mention a little bit. I think in previous, I think I saw in one of your previous Cubecasts, you weren't sure how well people understand the like WCA regulations in China. I don't know if that's. I believe you mentioned that.
Maybe.
I just want to clear it up and say that people are very aware of regulations, and they're usually very well enforced. And
well, it's the same regs.
Very well organized and enforced, yeah.
It's not like there's a different set of regulations. It's the same regs, and it's the same organization that's overseeing it and everything like that. So yeah, no, that makes.
But I would say, if anything, they're enforced more than in any other place of the world that I've been, especially regarding penalties.
Yeah, well, they were, because when well, you're saying that sort of they used video evidence for that turn and inspection right there at that competition. It wasn't an investigation; it was just done there at the competition by the delegates. My understanding is that 3x3 solve the ASR when he touched the cube afterwards by accident. I believe that was dealt with like immediately as well. Somebody picked that up immediately. It's not like Chinese delegates are letting these things go through and they're being picked up later.
Even regarding judges, I would say that typically, because in most competitions in China, if you're a judge, you're not competing, you're just judging. And they have a good understanding of the regulations. It's not just a random parent that goes and looks at solve. Even for like plus twos, they have every possible plus two written very clearly on the scorecard. And when you write the time, you have to say there is none of the other problems. So I think that they have it very well set up there for that kind of penalty.
That actually sounds like a pretty good system.
Yeah, like they have a nice logo that represents every possible plus two penalty.
Okay.
And so it makes it very clear and easy for you to know as a judge, should I give them a penalty or not? Anyways, that's something that I always thought that they did very well at Chinese competitions.
Okay. I guess, yeah, so I guess going back to a question again, I guess I'm trying to judge the vibe a little bit. Is there any kind of feeling that there's like it's not like a us versus them, two camps kind of thing? Like, is she feeling as though there is pressure from the West on her and YiHeng, or where is she feeling pressure coming from? Or did you talk about any of that stuff? You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say that it's necessarily she thinks like from the West specifically. But I think that there's also a lot of Chinese cubers who, see posts on Cubic's friends, because there are some people that can see Facebook and then also see those posts and have similar opinions based off of that. I know that she did mention like a few people, like it had people that essentially saw posts on Facebook and then essentially reposted them on Chinese social media. And some of them basically, yeah, I would say that. So, and I think a lot of people that see those, they get similar opinions.
Yeah.
But without, I think that something that she mentioned a few times is that a lot of this is based off of speculation and nobody actually asks them about it. And that's something that's very frustrating.
Oh, I can imagine. Having no right of reply has got to be really, really frustrating, especially when you're seeing screenshots of posts from Facebook, which you can't access in China and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, exactly.
I can understand why that would be inherently be frustrating. So just going back a step, Dylan said regarding intention, Dylan was saying, from my circles, most people thought it was intentional since he had a clear time where he did it and then stopped doing it and then started again. So in that wider context, it seemed like it was it seemed like a strategy, I suppose. But anyway, we're getting back into the weeds with that. But I am so excited to see your interview with YiHeng's mom. I'm really excited to hear her talk and to hear what she had to say.
So I want to, sorry for that one. I didn't get it on camera.
Oh, right. Okay.
Just because the only time that they had enough time was after the competition, and they were going to leave and they were very tired. So I said, never mind, we don't have to film the interview. We'll just talk to you a little bit about it.
Something that
I'm sorry about that.
No, that's fine. Chris Mills said something after SSL, which really kind of brought home to me the fact that we are talking about tiny, tiny little children, because he was talking about Bofang and some of the other kids around his age, and he was just talking about the fact that they, in between, like they're up there solving world-class solves, being amazing, and then he was like, when it was after the comp and stuff, they're just little kids. They were just running around, doing little kid stuff, being absolute pests, like doing all the stuff that my little ratbag kids do as well. And I was like, wow, that really actually is comforting to know, because it's just like, yeah, these are just kids. Like, this is what we're doing. Okay, I want to, moving on from YiHeng's mum, I wanted to. People have been looking for some.
Sorry, I do have some extra things if you have time.
Oh no, of course, yeah, yeah.
So I think like if it's okay if I keep talking about this,
No,
but
of
I think there's
course.
some extra context that I also like to share. Especially with people saying like talking about YiHeng's coach. So YiHeng actually does not have a coach anymore. The
Okay.
3x3 anyways. 3x3 and 2x2. I think he does have a bit of a coach for some other side events that he's less good at, but not for the main events. And he's actually doing he's practicing and cubing a lot less lately, which I think a lot of people might have a hard time believing. But like he only cubes maybe outside of competitions like maybe an hour or so per day.
What? YiHeng Wang?
Yeah.
He practices
So
an hour a day.
in yeah, in the last few months at least. And that is I think it's not something it sounds very strange, especially considering how many, records he's been breaking in the last few months.
Yeah.
But I think that the reason that he's been able to break so many records while practicing less than before and taking it less serious is just because that often when you take a bit of a break in cubing, that exact same thing happened to me. You get essentially your practice goes from learning a lot of new things to being a bit more of a kind of a what is it consolidation kind of a practice. So just strengthening what you already have
Mhm.
with the practice that you do, and also he has less pressure going to competitions because he doesn't care about it as much. And so I also want to give the example of myself when I got my 10.87 one-handed world record average. The previous world record was 11.5, I think. I was averaging 11.5 at home. And then I just basically practiced very, very little for a few months. And then I got the 10.87 world record average. And I'm pretty sure that that's the exact same thing that's going on with YiHeng. So, practicing a little bit less, getting less nervous at competitions, and getting good results in comp. That's the way that I see it. I don't know. I'm sure that a lot of people have had similar experiences, cubing a little bit less, but still somehow getting very good results in competition. And I think that's kind of where it is with YiHeng. Because also he's right now at an age, it might seem strange, but in China at that age, school becomes a lot more serious. Now him and his, especially I'll say his mom is not an extremely strict parent. I mean, regarding school at least. And so he's not, spending the entire day doing school, but he's also, I think, a little bit less interested in cubing and doing a lot of other kid things like playing sports, like he's playing ping pong, for example. And so spending less time cubing.
Very interesting. I did talk about that. It's not out yet, but I talked about that on a week in cubing with Jaden at Speedcube Shop. I do often wonder what the curve of his like time over performance looks like for someone who is so good so young, because we're used to seeing people peak at like 15, 16, or maybe 18. I can't remember how old you were when you got your WR, but we see generally, and we're used to seeing people peak in their teens, but now we're seeing the Chinese cubers, because they're supported from such an early age, they're peaking at 9 or 10 or 11. So I do often speculate as to where the YiHeng story kind of ends in cubing, because he's got just a lot of stuff coming up. He's going to be, I don't know the school system in China. I assume they have a primary school, then high, because he's like getting towards high school, right?
Middle. He's getting towards middle school, yeah.
Middle school. Okay, so yeah, a lot of stuff goes on, not just in terms of academically, but a lot of stuff goes on to little kids between the ages of 10 and 13. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot. He's got a
Yeah.
lot ahead of him that's going to distract him and cause a lot of stuff. So that is wild. An hour a day. So Dylan's asking in the chat here, do you have any insight to what his practice with a coach looked like before compared to this sort of relatively relaxed practice he's doing now?
I mean, now it's more just, I think, doing solves, doing some solves for a day. And also maybe also going through some cases, practicing some cases. It was more structured and more intense when he had a coach, of course.
Yeah.
Um,
I wonder what he has
yeah, I
left to
mean,
learn.
so that's actually at the competition. Timon asked if he's planning to learn ZB, and that's kind of what brought into this. But yeah, what came in, what brought us into this question. And the answer is a resounding no.
He's not learning
Yiheng is
ZB.
not going to learn ZB, and that is a definite answer. There's no plans to learn ZB. It takes way too much time, way too much effort, and that is not something that they want right now.
Yeah, because
Probably won't ever.
correct me if I'm wrong or pardon my ignorance, but ZB, that's like just one case for every last layer case, right? Is that right? Like 300, 400 algs?
Yes, but there's also another part, which is, I would say, even more important, which is the ZBLS, which is the last slot plus edge orientation.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the EO stuff.
So, yeah, there's two parts, both very important. And if you look at, for example, Xuanyi, when he does ZB, he doesn't just learn ZB. It's not just like for ZBLL, for example, it's not just 300 some algs. He also learns the AUF. So he learns to recognize two-sided recognition from each case, and the optimal way of solving given each AUF. So that's it's very, very intense.
That's so intense. I mean, I've used this comparison before.
Right.
I've used this comparison before, and it wasn't fair then, and it's not fair now. But my son's the same age, and he can't tie his shoes. And then these kids are learning just these enormous alg sets for.
Do you want to know something funny? He doesn't tie his shoes either.
Let's go! I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that. That's great news. Okay, what else did we want to talk about? Because we're charging on here. I need to think about wrapping up at some point today. But we've talked about kind of unless there's anything else you want to add about YiHeng stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for YiHeng thing, I think a very important thing is something that she was unhappy about is lack of communication between the WRC and them.
The WRC and YiHeng's mum. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Got you.
Yeah, and if there is any communication, it was always in English, and it was very difficult for them to understand what the WRC was trying to say.
Yeah, I get that. I do get that. Can I tell you something I experienced? And this, it made people angry then, and it'll make people angry now, probably. But that's okay. I'm a big boy. I can deal with it. I've often wondered about that, about the language barriers, and sitting back and looking at the whole thing and going, is there a bias thing here? Because we seem to be looking really in depth at specifically Chinese competitors. You can argue with me if you want. Oh, no, they investigated more people as well. But I made a comment that I thought, in my opinion, only my opinion, I thought I didn't like young Theodore, who has the WR single. I was looking at his and I made a comment like, that looks like a slide to me. And I had a couple of people in my comments being like, how dare you? Like, they were so mad that I suggested that there might be a slide there. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen evidence of it, but I have been told that apparently that slide has that solve, not that slide. It's not a slide. That solve has been investigated by the WRC. Dylan's already in the chat going, it's clean. I hear you, and I accept that. But I said all I did was mention that I thought that was worth looking at as well. No shade on little Theodore at all. But it was really interesting to me as someone who is making English language content to a mostly English language audience. And nobody ever has an issue with me talking about YiHeng. Never once have I had a comment from someone going, how dare you come at YiHeng? But as soon as I mentioned Theodore once, people got mad. So that was my experience of a bias. I was like, oh, this is obviously anecdotal and a very small sample size, but I was like, that's interesting. That's really interesting. So bringing up the language thing, I can get that, and I can see why she would feel at a disadvantage in that position. I feel for
And
her
I
there.
know it's difficult for the WCA because we're not a big organization. And so having standard communication in English, I think at this point does make sense. But in most other, I think, global associations or organizations, usually they have multiple official languages like English, French, Chinese, Arabic, maybe. Make it better because most people might not speak very well English, but usually there's a proficiency in some other language. I don't know if the WCA plans on improving the communication in other languages. To be honest, I think that the focus of the WCA is still mostly on English-speaking languages, to be honest. Sorry, in English-speaking regions, and they put a lot less focus and they have a lot less reach in other regions.
Sorry, I'm just looking something up because we did look at this on the we had a look at this on another stream recently. They have regulations in Chinese. I can't remember where I saw this other page, but there was like language.
The translations for regulations are pretty good.
Yeah.
But the communications part, I don't think that they do any. Maybe they have communications in Spanish as well for South America.
Well, I remember seeing a specific list about their announcements, and I think they do announcements. I believe I don't want to get this wrong. People don't like it when I bagged on the WCA, and I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to find out what the facts are. But I'm pretty sure I saw Arabic, Russian, Spanish, and one other, but it wasn't Chinese. That's all I'm saying. You know, in their sort of announcement stuff. But I'm struggling to find where I saw that now. It's on another stream of mine, but yeah. Essentially, I can understand why she would feel at a disadvantage based on that, is what you said. So sorry, I sidetracked with my own little story, but you started saying about receiving stuff from the WRC. The communication between the WRC and her was suboptimal.
Yeah, it was. Yes, both. Or in terms of the information that the input that they had, and also the language. For instance, she mentioned that they had very high quality video of several of the incidents, which was the WC didn't even ask to get the evidence apparently.
Yeah, no, I did see that on Billy. She's got 120 frames per second. Yeah.
Right. And so that definitely seems like there could have been much better communication. So that was that thing. So another thing that I also want to mention that she said, and actually regarding the evidence at Asian Championships, I don't know if you saw, but they actually installed a separate camera that's 240 frames per second that just looks at the timer, just essentially to show, look, his timer stops are fine.
Whoa. Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's big.
Whenever YiHeng solves, before he solves, they would install a camera on his station that would look just at his hands and the timer stops.
The organizers did that, or YiHeng's mom?
So YiHeng's mom did that.
Okay, cool.
From what I understand.
Yeah, cool.
But I also spoke to the organizers, to one of the delegates, anyways, from the competition yesterday, and that's something that they mentioned, that it also adds a lot of pressure to the organizers, because with all this incident, it makes it that not only do we have to look at the results from the stack mats, which was previously the standard, like if you use the stack mat and everything looks fine, it's fine. But now, even before YiHeng went in any round, there was the footage, and they would have to review the footage frame by frame, essentially, for all of YiHeng solves.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Because
and they'd have to do that before he went into the next round. Because otherwise, if he'd get a DNF at a solve, he wouldn't be able to get to the next round.
Yes. And so the delegates don't want to get pulled up for not doing their job correctly because YiHeng's in the competition and people are watching him through a microscope.
Right. And so it's very demanding for YiHeng. And a theme that I also discussed with them is that it's not really fair that they only have to look at that for YiHeng and nobody else.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's actually not fair.
And even if And then if you do look at it for everyone else, then that is way too many resources. So with the new ruling that you can look that you can look at the frame by frame analysis for solves, it just puts the standards so much higher than it used to be. And so in theory, for everybody who's fast, you'd have to get clear video evidence of every solve and analyze them before they even make the next round. That is the way that it was seen by many people at the competition. There wasn't this seemingly this obligation to do this for any other competitors, because everybody's just looking at YiHeng, so they only did it for YiHeng, as far as I know, for this competition. But it was also quite demanding, and it also seems unfair.
Yeah. Huh. Are we gonna swing inside with the board? Are we gonna swing backwards and go, we have created a situation where all our competitors aren't competing under fair and equal conditions? Is that a side effect of this, that YiHeng is not competing in fair and equal conditions with everyone else?
And I think also a thing is that really we should have more standard and easier to I don't know how to put it, but like, for example, before everyone just used the stack mine and it was fine. Now, I mean, some competitors, the stack mine isn't good enough. You also have to have high quality footage from that can then be analyzed. That doesn't seem to be sustainable for WCA competitions either. And we need to have a way that, you can use a standardized device like it was before, that just everybody uses, then it's fine, I think. Whether it's, just using 4-pad mode. WCA provides extra assistance for areas that don't have 4-pad timers yet, and then we just go with 4-pad. That's a way forward. But what we have right now, it doesn't seem to be like it's a sustainable kind of approach.
Yeah, that is a sort of unintended consequence of the community's demands. Not that I'm saying it was wrong necessarily, not that I'm saying anything necessarily. But yeah, that's really interesting. Antoine, I'm gonna have to wrap things up with you, because I've got one more thing to do before I go, and also I have things to do today. Oh, have you got one more?
Yeah, one little thing, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Just about about the actual sliding part. So I did like ask specifically, saying like, people think it's intentional, what do you think about that?
Okay.
So I basically asked that kind of a question. And the response is that, I mean, it wasn't intentional. There is no coach telling him to do that. And in fact, that she mentioned that she knows that you can, try and how should I put it? Try and fool the timer by the way that you start and stop. But the way that she has known that you can fool the timer is by starting and stopping it very quickly, under 0.06, and that you can do that to get a resolve. And that is something that is actually legal right now. As far as I know, if you get under 0.06, like let's say you see the scramble's bad, under 0.06, you get a resolve, get a new scramble, and you can get something better. So that is an existing loophole, which I believe is still a loophole. I know it was a loophole before. I don't think that there's any official ruling as to saying that this is illegal.
It's not.
So that she said
it's not omitted from the video evidence thing, so you could pull it up as a video evidence thing, I think.
I think maybe if the WCA can prove that you intentionally did that, then perhaps you could get a DNF, but I'm not sure if there's intention in that regulation even. I think that you'd be fine if you just did that and they'd give you a resolve, because that's what it says in the regulation. Anyways, so she said that she knows that there are ways to fool the timer like that. But there's no way that they would want to try that, and she hasn't even told YiHeng about it. She doesn't want to give him any ideas, because I mean, he's a little kid. And
I hope he's not watching.
But she mentioned that there's no way that she would, at least from her perspective, there's no way that she would want YiHeng to try and do anything like that with the timer, to fool the timer of such a sliding, because the chance of the solve accidentally getting DNF'd and it not completely, because sliding, I mean, I tried sliding and I have not been successful, not in competition. I've tried doing sliding. I was not successful. I have not been successful myself. And what she was saying is that if you try and do that, that the chance that you get a DNF is so high that on some solve, there would be like an obvious malfunction where something was wrong. Maybe you can get like under 0.06. And so it's way too easy to get a DNF and do something wrong. So even if they wanted to cheat, then it would be way too risky to try and intentionally cheat like that. That's what she mentioned as well.
Okay.
And I mean, it makes sense to me.
So she's clearly, as a result of everything that's happened, she really has been thinking about timers a lot.
And she also took like slow motion videos of certain Gen 4 timers, and she said that she is preparing a package to send to the WRC because she has some additional things that they want to share, and they think that there might be something potentially with certain things. But I don't want to mention, don't want to elaborate too much on that. There are a few things I think that I didn't quite get, but I think that we might most likely will be hearing more about this going forward, and it's probably not something that's completely over.
Yeah, interesting. Oh my gosh, is this the, getting sidestepping slightly? Could we see disruption to the speed stacks stranglehold on timing? I wonder. Antoine, thank you so much. We'll have to get you back on again, or maybe try and do a video that's a more suitable time of day for you. But you're gonna have videos coming out. Who are the interviews that you've got on camera? Remind us.
So I have Jiang Lingkun, who is the PRMX world record holder, and also Geng Xuanyi.
Okay.
The really fast ZB, fourth in the world, 7-8-year-old. I don't remember.
Oh God.
Anyways,
that's terrifying. Is ZB the way, the truth, and the light? Do you reckon? What's your opinion on that?
That's a good question.
It's being debated on by a lot of people.
I think it can depend on the cuber. YiHeng doesn't use ZB, and he's very fast without it. I think if YiHeng had infinite time and he learned ZB, he'd probably be a bit faster with it. But you have to confront reality. You don't have infinite time and resources.
Yeah, true. Dylan in the chat saying ZB will be the meta in 5 years. No debate, straight up. He's absolutely putting his flag in there for ZB. Okay, cool.
You have to see how much. You have to see how much that, for example, Xuanyi practices ZB. It is one of the things that he practices most. He puts in so much time, but still there's pauses in recognition.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh well, I wonder how much he's putting in compared to YiHeng with his 1 hour a day, just casually, just doing it on his lunch break.
He is practicing much more than YiHeng. That's all I'll say right now.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Cool. Thank you so much. Listen, I'm gonna have to call it there, because I've been on a couple of hours now. But yeah, we'll do some more chatting about China in the future, I'm sure. Before you go, do your plug for Cubing Life Academy. You are the promo. You sent me an email that I haven't responded to. What's going on there? Do you want to talk about that?
Oh yeah. So for those who don't know, I mean, I'm running Cubing Life Academy. So we, for those who are interested in improving their cubing, we have both group courses as well as individual coaching. So I think group courses are something that's quite unique that you can't really get anywhere else. So if you're at essentially there's structured courses with a few other people. You go online with Tommy Cherry or Benjamin Kyle, which are two teachers who do the group courses. And you get to learn essentially everything that you need to know for a certain kind of level. So for 3x3, for example, we have complete entry, which you're probably not interested if you're on Cubecast. We have foundations of CFOP, so learning how to do CFOP from the beginning. We have intermediate CFOP, so if you already know how to do CFOP, but you want to bring it to the next level. And then we have advanced 3x3, so for those who are about 12 seconds or so. Really, so Tommy goes through all of the advanced 3x3 things that you want to know, and to essentially give you everything that you need to know to be a sub 7 solver. And so there's assignments, you're with a group. And then for individual coaching, we have plans where you have consistent coaching. We have many different coaches. As I mentioned, Tommy Cherry, Benjamin Kyle, we have Patrick Ponce, Brian Johnston, Elby Kubelanski, and myself as well. If you're interested in improving your cubing, definitely go check us out at cubing.life. What you mentioned, Mike, right now is we are planning on doing a promotion for the holiday season. So for coaching plans and courses that'll begin in the new year, we're hoping to get a nice promotion for you. Hoping to collaborate with some Cube stores so that if you register for our courses or coaching, you can get some free cubes with it as well. So that might be a very good Christmas present or any holiday present that you'd like to have from your parents or that you want to get for yourself.
Yeah. I think that's a really cool idea. Yeah, I'll respond to the email and we'll get that sorted out and we'll get it all tied up and all the details sorted out and things. But that's really cool. So essentially, you sign up for a course and you get a big voucher for a store. Is essentially what we're proposing, and that store can be whatever stores in your region. So yeah, very cool. Okay, Antoine, thank you so much. I am going to unceremoniously hang up on you now. It's not personal. But it's just the way that the show works. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really, really appreciate it. And yeah, I'm sure we will talk again soon. All right, peace. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, everyone. Oh, what's going on here? I've just got one more thing to do. Okay, one more thing to do, and then we're done. One more thing to do. I just need to talk about the tier list submission form for this tier list video, because this has been going on forever now. It's been going on forever. And I want to just get it done. I want to get it done, and here's how we are going to get it done, right? It's the link is going to be in the description of this stream. It's not yet. If you're watching this live, it's not done yet. But if you're watching the VOD, then it will be, because it's the first thing I'm going to do after this, okay? But I have created a submission form for us, so that you can submit your ideas for the record reaction tier list, okay? I'm just going to hide that. There we go. Okay, so the record reaction tier list. It's very simple. All I need you to do... doxed my own Gmail, but that's okay. Submit your video link, okay? Put the link to the video that you want me to include in the tier list in there, all right? So a link of just a reaction that you want me to include in that. And then your name, because I'll give you it says up here, credit will be given to all submissions in the description of this video. So there you go. You'll get a little shout out in the video description. I need the link to the video where the reaction is, because I need to be able to watch it. I need to know your name. If you have a YouTube channel that you want me to tag in the description, go ahead and put it in there. And I also want to know where in the world you are, whether you're in Australia or New Zealand or somewhere else. Most of you are somewhere else. And then there's a can I send you emails thing as well, all right? That's just kind of like marketing stuff. It's all very basic. But this stuff here, send me the video, send me your name. If you have a YouTube channel, send me that as well. That's not required, you'll notice. Tell me where you are and tell me if you want to be getting emails from me in the future. And that's it, everyone. Really, that's the process. We're a little bit far through the episode now to start working on the criteria for how I score them. So I might just have to freestyle that when we do the video. But if ideally we'll get this done in time for next week and I can do the tier list on next week's stream, that should be a lot of fun. But the form is there. It's ready. I need you to go ahead and submit the videos the reactions that I'm going to include on the tier list. Does that all make sense, everyone? I think I might have to make a separate video for that one. A separate video for the details of that one, but we'll get there. Hey, I think I'm going to wrap it up, everyone, because I've been online now. How long have I been streaming? Oh my gosh. 2 hours and 10 minutes. Longest stream ever. It's a record, everyone. Stream PB. Let's go. I'm gonna wrap it up there. Thank you all so much for watching. In the description of this is also my link for Movember, fundraising for Movember, as I do every year for men's mental health and suicide prevention. because that's how I like to do it. I've been doing it for 6 years now. You'd think I could grow a decent mustache, but I still can't. It's still gross, but it's there on my face doing its job. So there's a link in the description. You can donate to my Movember. Let's just have a wrap up of the donations in so far. Let's find out what we've got. Go to my thing. Here we go. 90 bucks. 90 bucks. Massive shout out and thanks to Oliver Jenks. What a champion. 40 bucks from him. And Nick, Curious Nick, thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go because I've run out of things to say. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I appreciate you. We'll be back. Oh yeah, the schedule's all messed up this month. It's gonna be most of this month, and most of the episodes in December are gonna be on Fridays my time, Thursday for most of you in the UK and the US, and apart from one Wednesday. Also, one of the Fridays my kids are gonna be at home, so it's gonna be chaos and carnage, but that's that. Okay. Goodbye. Thank you. Bye.